slow motion is all I see. Oh, when you're smiling back at me.
Yo, what's going on? It's DJ Crowley, and of course, Blue's in the house as well. And let's just start reading my prompter here. I usually don't have one. If you're just tuning in, you are already late. That's right, family. Today is a very special day for us at Simmer Down. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a test. The time has officially come, almost 8 years in the making, to welcome one of my all-time faves. They prefer to cook their musical meals in-house. They stay no more than a few feet from the ocean and their surfboard at all times. Their rhythm section is damn near pure perfection that finds a way to wrap your ears in this warm, full bodied audio blanket. They have audio effects that will take you to the stars, and most importantly, a sound that compares to no one else. From Jensen Beach, Florida to Jacksonville, welcome the one and only Reggie Froom of the Ellameno beat. What's up, Reggie?
Wow. I'm just buzzing from that intro. That was something. You nailed it, brother. Oh, yeah, we're just in the days post our album release and celebrating with our family back home in Jensen Beach in Stuart, Florida. Yeah, thrilled to be back in the scene. It's been a little bit. We're stoked.
Welcome back, man. Reggie, this has been a long, long time coming, brother. A passionate surfer, producer, songwriter, musician, even cinematographer, light designer. Isn't it weird how important things always seem to happen when they are ready to happen? It's a perfect reminder to never rush anything. When it's ready, and you'll know it. And I want to circle back to that point at the
Yeah.
other end of our chat, but I do want to tell everybody a little bit of a story here before we dive in. Everybody picture it. Bless the Woods Festival 20 circa 2016, 2017, 2018
Yes. Something like
ish
that.
in Maryland. Shout out to our boy Dan over at that
Yeah,
fest. Love you,
damn.
Dan. This is my story about the Ellameno beat. So we were sitting there when I was tour manager for the Elevators, and I think it was midday. We're getting the music started, and somebody came up to me. I think it was Dan, and he was like, "Hey, this other band couldn't make it, but we got this really, really dope band, to fill the spot." And I was like, okay, who is it? He goes, the Ellameno. And before he could say beat, I went, what? Are you kidding me? Is that the Ellameno beat is going to be here in a few minutes and they're going to rock a show? He's like, oh, you know who that is? And I was like, yeah, I know who that is. And
Oh,
everybody
wow.
on planet should know who that is. And you guys came on, and I remember it was really kind of like us few musicians and management, and it was the artists and their people, and a few homies, and we sat there and were just mesmerized. I remember Nick, my drummer, looked at me and goes, Crowley, and I was like, yeah. Are they better than us? And I said, yes, Nick, the Elemento beat is better than you.
Oh man. Dude.
It was such a magical moment, and I just wanted to, talk about that because your music live and on stage just literally blows you away. You created a
Oh.
sound over the years like no other. I like to describe your music as maybe like what the inside of a wave would sound like. Relaxing reggae and funky grooves that drop you in to an almost rootsy trance. It has the power to instantly calm the mind, where in that moment, regardless of the situation, time, or place, all becomes blended into just a moment in time. I can't tell you how special and rare it is for music to do something like that. I want to talk about your sound. Tell us about the
Yeah.
Elemental Beats sound.
Well, I mean, our sound definitely does, like in your intro, is very inspired by our time in the ocean. All of us, all of our performing members surf together on a at least weekly basis. We love our time in the water, and it inspires us. And commonly, we leave sessions and head straight for the studio with new ideas. So melodies and rhythms and concepts definitely happen, while we're out there. So that's a huge part of it. Sonically, we love old music. and we love things that happened before digital was invented, and things that feel something, like feel human. So we're always pursuing that kind of thing, something that is relatable and feels like it's coming from another person. So I would say that the combination of our contextual lives around music and our love for old records definitely is a huge contributing factor to the way our music sounds.
Absolutely. If you guys are just tuning in, you are already so late. It's all good. We got Reggie Froom of the Ellameno Beat in the house. They have a brand new record. It's called Cycles. It's the first time in 8 years these guys have put out a record. We're going to get into that record more in just a second, but I kind of want to take a step back into the past. And for everybody
Yeah.
that doesn't know, I would like you to kind of explain to everybody how this thing started. I know that your bandmates are lifelong friends who you
Yeah.
basically met in the water. Tell us about the beginning, and then we'll dive into this record.
Yes. Okay. So James Rosenblit, our drummer, I met him in fifth grade band class. We were both playing, well, I was playing trumpet and he was playing snare drum. And I only lasted about 2 weeks in the band class because I really didn't want to do what my band director was instructing us to do. But in those 2 weeks, James and I both really connected. We both kind of had that same excitement for music that didn't necessarily fit into the confines of what we were supposed to be doing in that class. But so yeah, in fifth grade, James and I became great friends in music, and all through middle and high school, the two of us we were constantly getting together to jam. And at the time, I was really inspired by like metal and playing drums. I left I left my position on the trumpet in fifth grade and got my first drum kit and was obsessed with playing as much double bass as I could for as
Right.
long as I could. Um, but yeah, so the very beginning, James and I played metal together all the time and fell in love with just pursuing cool stuff, learning riffs and techniques the same way we were like learning flip tricks on our skateboards or something. Like we were just constantly doing things over and over again, trying to, hone in our skills together at a young age. So yeah, that relationship has withstood the test of time. And a couple years later in high school, another buddy of mine who I actually did continue on with school band all through middle school and high school. Another good friend of mine, Christian Wilds, I made a lot of music with him too, and he had a younger brother whose best friend was always hanging around all the time, much
Mm.
younger than us, but that was Walker, our eventual keyboard player, Walker Brantingham. I would he's a bit younger. He was probably in third grade when I met him for the first time, and I was finishing middle school. But Walker was always around shredding the guitar and paying attention to what the bigger kids were doing, and he always wanted to be in the room with us when we were goofing off. I always knew that he had something really special. He's just a talented dude, and at a young age was already able to make everybody laugh all the time and outplay everybody. He was in other bands on his own, again much younger, but I remember I got a call, or my mom told me that he got kicked out of his band when he was in seventh grade, and it was right about then that we were starting the Elemento Beat. It was just James and I had a bunch of recordings I had been working on, and we were trying to figure out how to, like, take it to the live stage and figure it out. And I remember I was like, well, we need a keyboard player because keys are pretty crucial. We were already making reggae music at this point, which would have been 2012 was when
So
we really
seventh
got going.
grade, the Elemento Beat was already in motion.
Well, when Walker was in seventh grade, we had
Oh,
just
okay.
been about finishing high school, but he was that much younger than us.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's
yeah,
wild. Like,
right.
sorry to
But
interrupt you. Go ahead.
you're good. You're good. Yeah. And please keep me on track if I start to wander also,
Oh, we
because I
love
do that.
wandering. We love
Yeah.
wandering.
But yeah, so I remember I got the call. Walker got kicked out of his middle school band, and I was like, "Well, Walker could probably figure out how to play the keyboard." And so I called him, and it was the same day. I was like, "Hey, man, like, do you want to join my band?" And he came over that night, and we had a rehearsal and had a great time. And he's been in the band ever since. So thankful for that guy and James. Those two are like my brothers. It's been so much fun playing music with them for so long, we've really learned each other's tendencies and personalities in music space, and I think we have a bit of an advantage because of that. Like I know I can feel things, when James is going to do something, it just happens, and we all kind of know it's going to happen. And there's a lot of important moments in our history that have gone down that are unscripted, and just because we're kind of locked in and know how to predict what each player is going to do. So I'm
Yeah,
really thankful.
you do have a leg up in that. Choosing your bandmates is uh probably the most important thing besides creating a sound that is unique in
Yeah.
your own, because you got to be with them every day. You got to rely on them, not just through the music but throughout all the different tasks that need to be done, and to have this long rooted, deep friendship from the very early days is definitely a powerful move. And it's cool to hear that story. So you from there you go into the EP, and then
Mm,
then
mhm,
we hit surfaces, or surface, excuse me,
yeah.
and then we hit cycles. So I
Yeah.
want to talk about this new record.
Yeah.
It's just as soon as you said, yo, like, we're doing a new one, I was so happy. And there's so many other people out there that really love you guys, that are really happy. You guys are like this kind of like underground, like snake that's, slithers around, that everybody wants to hold, and
Uh,
everybody's waiting for, you know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about cycles, man. 8 years in the making. Let's talk about this fantastic record. Tell us about the new one, man.
yeah, so 8 years. There are songs on this album that span that amount of time. Um, the majority of the record probably happened within the last 2 years, but there are some songs that date back to before even Surface came out. There were songs that we were messing around with or in even playing live. I think at Bless the Woods, the show you cited a minute ago, one of the songs on the album we played during that set. I believe it's track 5, Floodgates.
No
That is a song.
way.
Yeah. It's really exciting because, we we've always wanted to put that song out, but there were limitations, I think, in my studio setup for a lot of years that prevented us from really making the records that we wanted to make as a group. Cycles really represents the most, I would say, the most modern and sophisticated version of the Ellameno beat in studio space. I've taken a lot of those 8 years since the last album to build my recording studio at home properly, to be able to make reggae music the way we feel it should be made or want to make it for ourselves. And Floodgates is a song that really leans into kind of older feeling, like lovers rock kind of sound, and we felt that now in 2025, with the studio capabilities we had, it was like a good idea to bring that one back. And so we recorded it this year at the beginning of the year, but we didn't really change anything about the tune. We played it exactly how we would always play it on stage, and that's all of us in studio playing. It's one take. It's all of us playing at the same time. No click track, no loops, no grid, no nothing. It's us just set up the tracks, armed them, and went and caught that one. And yeah, that was probably, I I, I can't pick a favorite song on the album because they've all have gone through phases of being my favorite song, which is we knew we like kind of needed to make a record because we had so many favorite songs. But Floodgates,
Yeah.
you know, Floodgates definitely holds a special place in my heart because it has so many memories wrapped up. Cycles definitely touches on a lot of different eras of the Elemento beat. Yeah, a lot of different look feels too. Like it's not just, we didn't try to just make roots reggae from top to bottom. There's a lot of funk influence, and different types of key signatures and things that indicate different genres and stuff. I mean, obviously the foundation is reggae, but it really does. It's like it represents the cycles that we all go through. Me personally, as an artist, I have many cycles that I exist in, and I think there's one song for each of those on the album, probably.
I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking about the actual titles of your two records. You think about surface, like the surface of the ocean, trying to
Mm-hmm.
stay afloat, and then cycles, like the repetition of waves. Was
Yeah.
that on purpose, or does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I love the working title cycles. I've had that actually in my brain for years about calling an album cycles because it is kind of it represents, cycles like frequencies. They call that cycles, like, 60 cycles, 60 hertz, that frequency is impactful, and it's a way of naming sound, but also like waves in the ocean also are on cycles the same way sound waves are. And I, I in my again, like I just said, through my journey of producing music and creating things, go through a lot of cycles, and I've always been enamored by that, calling my album that, because it is sort of like a, whatever, double entendre, or meaning multiple things that
Yeah.
relate to, how I tick.
Right. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, you're late. It's all good. We got Reggie Froom in the house of the legendary Ellameno beat. Man, we're so stoked to have you. We're talking about the new record, Cycles, first record in 8 years. That's right, 8 years, but well worth the wait. I do want to touch on one more thing about Cycles before we go into production here.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, I noticed the theme with surface. Like I said, the surface of the ocean, trying to stay afloat. The energy in that record, it was kind of like you may have been going through something,
sure.
um, then you look at cycles, and it's like you've gone through it, and you're explaining how you get through it in the
Mm.
right way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely feel that for sure.
So tell us about that. Like it's almost like, so did you figure something out in life?
Well, well, yeah, I think, yeah, I have had a lot of aha moments in my life since Cycles, or excuse me, since Surface came out in 2017. I think I was in the pursuit of something then that I've definitely discovered in my life now. Um, I don't know exactly how to put it into words, so I'm going to do it, as best as I can. But I think I've really discovered to be to be content with where I am right now in the present moment and enjoy the present moment. And I think when I was younger, making that music in 2017 and before, I was looking forward and looking for something that I didn't know or didn't have yet in my life. And I think through, like we were talking about, these friendships that have lasted so long, and I'm married now. I met, and I was with my partner then that I'm married to now, but like I do feel like I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm really I'm really happy. I'm very happy in my life where I am right now, musically and socially, with my tight community I have here in Jacksonville. And um, I think that that environment that I exist in, and I've been existing in for a couple of years now, has definitely contributed to the messaging in the lyrics that I'm writing these days. And yeah, I mean, as a producer, I think I was really searching for things back in the Surface era that I've definitely figured out that I'm having a lot of fun right now with my process. And so I guess I think Cycles really does represent how much fun we're having creating nowadays in 2025.
That's a perfect segue. I mean, you said it, going back to it real quick, you said most of my songs in many ways are a conversation with myself. And
Mm,
that's how artists, pretty much are. And then if the
yeah.
music's really good, then it can really like appeal to everyone and they can feel it and create their own story in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Its simplicity can sometimes rule.
Yeah.
Especially in this record, I hear it like it's just kind of, like give an example. Cool off your head, be happy, not sad. Before you say something
Yes.
that you're gonna fucking regret.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
simple,
Yeah.
but it's so powerful, and it can
Yeah.
mean so many things to so many people. Anyway, uh, let's transition here. That was a really great segue. My good buddy and one of your good buddies, Marco Martinez
Yeah,
of a group
Marco.
we like to call the Melodos, formerly of
Yeah.
Roots of a Rebellion, the one, the only. The reason one of my good friends, Marco, aka Melodos, makes music is because of you. Watching you produce in the studio,
Oh,
tell me about the production and the Ellameno beat. And this is from our buddy Marco. This is his question to you. Tell me about it.
wow. Well, that's a huge honor hearing that one of the reasons that Marco's doing it is inspired by me and seeing me in my space. Had some good times with him here at the house over the years. Producing music for the Elemento beat and in reggae space for me, I'm constantly searching for a way to mold sounds together that create another sound or sound like something different than that is actually being played. Like and I think anybody that makes reggae music understands what happens when you put pianos and guitars together that are in a tight fashion, how all of a sudden they take on this kind of unified wall of sound characteristic. And from a young age, I was really, really mystified by that song, or by the song Natural Mystic, and the sonics that were were put into that production. Like I didn't know what I was listening to. The sound of the organ and piano and guitar on that recording, for years I thought it was some weird metallic instrument or something that was just this massive thing that was just hitting me in the guts, and later on in life when I heard like lesser quality produced reggae music where you could kind of decipher the instruments, I was like, oh, that's a piano, guitar, and organ. But I mean, so when I'm getting into a production, I really love it's like a game, like getting sounds to fit together in a way that where they take on their own sort of identity. Um, so in Elemental Beat Productions, I'm always searching for that in a way, if I can, if that's what the song's calling for. Sometimes it's a minimalist arrangement and it's not a million things stacked together, And there's other things that I like to shoot for in those types of situations. First up, that's the thing that I think I've put the most brain power and energy into in my production life is like pursuing that, like the best molding of sounds I can find. I've really learned a lot over the years, I think even since Surface, about about how to accomplish that goal. I think track one on Cycles is a good representation of some of my most some of my most proud engineering that I've done in that space with those types of rhythm section elements. Um, that's my me paying homage to the Wailers in that production. That's like the one song on the album that I really wanted to kind of lean into their sound because it's like, I mean, one of the best sounds that's ever happened in the genre,
Mhm.
in my opinion, anyway. And sonically, they had the most resources and stuff putting into their productions, and it shows those albums are just so powerful sonically. So, yeah, I really I like to make things fit nicely. And I think any engineer, that's what they're trying to do. But reggae is unique where like this crazy thing happens where it takes on its own, unified kind of identity as its own sound, which is so fun. And that's also true for the bass section with shadow guitar or sticky and bass, like when played properly and mixed properly, it sounds like this crazy wall of sound thing down there that is, it's not necessarily a bass guitar or a guitar, it's this other thing. And that thing is amazing to me. I love it so much. It stokes me out so much, and I love making it. Feeling the, and I think moving away from like sonics and the productions, the way things feel as they're happening, like in tempo space. I've really more recently fallen in love with getting rid of the click track and strictly having human performances and creating sound that is imperfect but perfect at the same time, you
Ooh,
know?
getting rid of the click track
Yeah.
and finding sounds that's imperfect but perfect. I love that, Reggie. Go on. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, we, if you listen to, reggae music before digital happened and all the old records that we spend all of our time obsessing over, they didn't, maybe they had a metronome going on sometimes, but I mean, so much of what's happening that's driving the music forward is just human influence and feeling. And it's rarely perfect. It's usually there's some sort of a swimmy factor to the whether it's swing or straight or somewhere in between, and things kind of push and pull through drum fills into new phrasings, and there's so much inertia created and released, or energy released, in those slight shifts and those characteristics of the music. And I'm obsessed with that in my life right now. Like I'm constantly pursuing that mysterious place and that pocket, and people refer to it as being in the pocket.
Mm.
And um, yeah, when stuff does that or whatever, when it kind of moves around in a healthy way, like that catches my attention like every time. I can't look away. And yeah, I think that's my most recent obsession as a producer and an engineer, is like trying to create those types of feelings. Um, and I think we did that on a couple tracks on Cycles. We definitely like prioritize that as a theme for the production. Into the Dark, track 7, that's probably the most swingy kind of swing between swing straight drum hi-hat pattern feel. That's me playing drums on that one, trying to sound like Leroy Horsemouth Wallace.
Really? Oh,
Big
wow.
ups, big ups to Horsemouth and his sound, because I think he's a master of that. I mean, all of the heavies, all of the drummers, Sly Dunbar, Style Scott, all the guys back in the day that really pioneered the genre. They all were so good at this just in between pocket space that
Mhm.
was, not perfectly straight or perfectly swung. But Horsemouth had a unique kind of version of that
Mm.
is very close to my heart. So yeah, anyway, that track 7 is a good example of me prioritizing that in the production. But yeah, I feel like between the getting the feeling right and making all the sounds fit together in a way that makes you wonder what the sound even is in the first place, that's kind of like what I'm after when I'm producing a song these days, for sure.
That's what you do. I mean, I love listening to you. Every chat with our artists is slightly different with us, but with you, like I'm just kind of listening. Like sometimes I'll cut in, but I really don't want to cut in, like because I might miss something. It's like a mad scientist, a musical mad scientist. It's so crazy. And I love to see that smile on your face. That's how I can tell that you're loving life, and then you're passionate about what you're doing when you're talking
Absolutely.
about it, man. I
Yeah.
just, so many, we could go for so long about this stuff, but I do
Yeah.
want to hit one more of your homies' quotes,
Yeah.
and then we'll move on to some other stuff. I met Reggie on our first tour, maybe second tour through Florida. See if you know who this is. 10 or so years ago, he opened up his house to us, which had a studio in the garage. We immediately became friends through Though I flew a small drone into this girl's head during a hang after a show. We recorded a Signal Fire song, Let's
Yeah.
Move Slow, in Reggie's studio. We both share a passion for recording music. Reggie has a vast knowledge and a knack for recording reggae music and writing amazing songs. We have continued to stay friends and collaborators, which include our songs False Reality, Last Call, and an upcoming single titled Who Knows, maybe. We'll cut that one and let you guys announce that. I also want to throw in that I'm sorry. I also want to throw in that the new record Cycles is an absolute masterpiece. Mad love to Reggie, Walt, and Jimmy, and the rest of the Ellameno Beat family.
Mr. Sean Gregory,
Yeah.
my dude right there. I love you, Sean. Thanks for those kind words. And no sweat, no hard feelings about flying the drone into that girl's head. That was something I'll never forget. And so actually to get that story kind of straight, he didn't fly it into her head. She dove out of the way and she hit her head while diving out of the way of the drone and got a black eye. It was really unfortunate, but at the moment, I didn't even know this guy. And Sean, well, I had seen it. They came. I knew about Signal Fire because I saw them play live, and I reached out to them, and we had stayed in touch. And then he was like, "Hey, we need a place to stay." And we had had this full long day of, they showed up and introduced themselves to me in my driveway, and I think within 30 minutes we were in a recording session because I was like already kind of like, oh, we should probably be making music together because these guys are sick. But anyway, so we had this whole day of recording, and then we played a show that night, I think, where it was like they had a show and I went, and then we all stayed at the house. But yeah, this girl had come back, and our friend had a little, like, it was like an iPhone controlled drone at the time, and the controls weren't really good, and Sean had no experience. He was like, let me try that thing. uh, and like just went right for her head, so she dove out of the way and hit this stool like right on her.
Did she get
And
hurt?
yeah, well, she got I saw a picture the next day. She had a black eye, and it was pretty unfortunate. But the moment when it happened, I remember Sean holding the iPhone in his hands after it happened, and he like looked at me and just like silently was like, and I was just like, dude, that was crazy, man. But oh wow, yeah. There's never been a time when we've got together that we haven't been like belly laughing, at least for, like he's one of those personalities that he's such a, just like full send it through life kind of dude, and he's just such a funny character. And I think that same part of his personality is where we kind of meet in music space. There's like a freedom for the process that we both kind of like idolize the same way. And yeah, wow. Friends for life energy for sure because of that first get together. But so to circle back to the music part of the conversation, it was like 30 minutes after we met in my driveway. I had already, my studio was dialed in, and I had been recording a bunch of stuff at the time. And Sean was just like, "Hey, we got a thing we've been working on. Like, would you be down?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Why not? And it came out really great. That was the first time I I heard somebody use the flute sound on my motif on my Yamaha keyboard and make it sound so good. Carl Blackman, their original keyboard player at the time, like he loves those flutes. He rips them. And the flute is like a big part of that song. And I remember before that, anytime we would hear that flute patch, we would be like, how would anybody use this? Like, or what's it, and then Carl was like, let me get the flute. Yeah, it was pretty sweet because it came out sick. Um, yeah, and Ken Force, big up Ken. He smashed the drum take, first take. I'm pretty sure it was like or maybe we did a second take, but the first one was a keeper anyway. Yeah, what a special thing. I just remember the feeling of like electricity in like the space with them being there. I was so excited they were there, and I think they had no idea what they were walking into, and I was like, here, let's go in my studio and record a song like Full Beans, you know. There was
Full
just so much.
beans.
Yeah, we were just like, you know, we did it. Full multi-track, full like all the, you know, everything. We there was no demo situation. We were like, all right, here we go. We're doing it, you know. And like most
Excellent.
of the guys probably had no idea, you know, who knows what Sean had communicated to them in the van about where they were going or what the deal was. They were just like, oh, we got a place to stay tonight, you know? Yeah, I love Sean. And he also has a masterful ear for creating and consuming or processing reggae music. I've always been inspired by him. And yeah, I'm very thankful for our friendship. I look forward to the future of collaborations with them. We definitely do have more music we've been working on together, and I'm really excited to share it with everyone. It's its own thing. It's different than just Elemento beat music. You know, working alongside Sean,
Mm.
it's you know Elemento beats sounds in a way, but you know their sound is the way that they you know it's unique to them, and I'm thrilled.
Yeah, and their new record. I was trying to grab the vinyl.
Oh
I don't know where it went, but it's in our collection. It is absolutely fantastic, and I'm
yes,
so glad people are doing vinyl, and you
yeah,
guys are doing. You guys did vinyl.
we sure did.
Man, real quick, let's talk about let's plug it up. How can everybody find you real quick? I know we kind of
Yeah.
we've been chit-chatting and going full beans, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, we're, you know, on socials wise, you know, Instagram is like our main social media handle. We just made a TikTok a couple weeks ago, so go catch us on there if you're into that. Streaming everywhere you can stream. Spotify is kind of our most frequented streaming platform for the time being. We'll see how long that is.
Hmm.
But theelementobeat.com if you want to buy a vinyl, you can buy vinyls on our online store on there as well as other merch. Um, yeah, I think that covers where we're at on the internet as far as I know. Um, not as tuned in
The old
to internet
internet.
things as I should be, but yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to get more into it. You know, it's kind of necessity these days.
Yeah, I think it's really cool what Hardesty of Bumpin' Uglies is doing. He made this post, I guess you call it a reel, like a year or two ago. It's like, man, I'm almost 40, or I am 40 or whatever, and I don't know anything about. That's not how I grew up. You know, I grew up
Mm,
just making music, and now you got to do these reels things, but at first I tried it and I hated it and I didn't you know I still don't like doing it, but I've found that with the music business you have to continuously evolve with it. It's continuously evolving, and it's
yeah,
really cool to see how good he's gotten at it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's just an
yeah.
example. You got to do it. And you've been into you got into lighting and
Mm,
cinematography as well. I
yeah,
love how
definitely.
you guys do things. Tell us
Mm,
about that side of it real quick.
yeah. Well, so, you know, I've got a fairly long history in like digital media. So I went to school for and I got a good buddy, Curran Schwartz, who's he actually playing in the Elemento Beat as an auxiliary member now. But Curran and I work together on all of the video production. Curran also tying back to the lifelong friendship and surfing thing. His parents opened up the surf shop in our hometown back in 2004, and I met Curran when he was 6 years old, fighting his 4-year-old little sister over the
Wow.
PlayStation controller. Like I've known their family forever, and it's
Huh.
so special to be interfacing with Curran on video projects for the band now. But yeah, so Curran and I, we founded Sundrop Records, the label together, our label, and Curran is also a wonderful vinyl DJ and true connoisseur of good music and lover of old reggae music. But so we carry that we shared passion into video production space,
Mhm.
and we really do enjoy the process of creating visual content. The act of interfacing with socials and stuff is something that we're not supernatural at, and we're trying to figure out, you know. But making things look and feel away on screen is something that we love and are very. I'm almost equally as passionate about cinematography as I am music. I
Mm.
don't have nearly as much released in public cinema wise as I do music. I've put a lot more effort into the Elemento beat than I have videos for the Elemento beat over the years, but that is going to change. We actually had a music video shoot on Saturday that was really fun.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to get more of the imagery out to the world because we definitely have a lot of feelings about how we want to, portray ourselves, and the image we want to create for the updated, most mature version of the Elemento beat. So yeah, Curran, love you, brother. I'm really thankful that you're on the team. Yeah, we can't wait to share more with everyone. We're having a very good time with making skits and like being silly.
I like the
Um,
coffee one.
yeah.
Where you're drinking the coffee and you're like,
Mhm.
it's
Yes.
so like it's funny.
Yeah.
It's like very dry humor, but it's
Yeah.
really good. And the water on Cool Off,
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really good. It's clever. It's really clever. Yeah, I dig it for sure.
Yeah. It's fun to be funny, and
Uh,
we take ourselves very seriously in music space, but like it's fun to make fun, and I think that's something that we really aim to do as much as we can while staying focused and on brand with the greater goal. But I think humor can really go a long way to engage with folks because I mean, it's a crazy time to be alive in 2025. So if we can like, make people laugh alongside being inspired, that's what we want to do.
hey,
um,
it's fun to be funny. I love that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Flight of the Conchords, one of like the best
Yeah,
things that ever happened, like those guys, Brett and
absolutely.
Jermaine, like they're the reason I started singing. That was like in high school before I knew I could sing or whatever. I started like, riffing around on those songs because they were funny and it was kind of like this really sweet, easily accessible space to be in and like sing songs that are really jokes but like also great songs.
Yeah.
And I love that stuff, it's wonderful. So we want to, yeah, I'm very inspired by those guys. And just yeah, I mean, it's yeah, like I said, it's fun to be funny, and we can't wait to do more of that stuff. We got a lot of things on the schedule that we still have to shoot. Hopefully, one day we could have a full length show, maybe.
Yeah. Is that the when I'm down to just my socks, you know what time it is,
Yeah,
baby?
it's
It's
time.
business time.
Yes, or the most beautiful girl in the room, in
You
the
say,
whole
is that
wide
it?
room.
Making love for making love for 2 minutes or something like that.
Yes, child. Yes,
But
precisely.
it's fun to be funny. That's
Yeah,
an interesting side of you guys. I did not know
yeah.
that. How cool is that? Hey, it's a good transition. You're almost transitioning for us right now. Talking about the future. Cycles is out everywhere right now. The elementobeat.com at the Elemento Beat at TheEllameno Beat. I think that is correct. Uh,
Yeah.
and you guys got to check out this record. It's absolutely fantastic. They just did a show at Terra Firmata. They got the Sugar Shack downtown coming up. What is coming up? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so there's that Sugar Shack downtown on August 16th. We actually just found out a couple hours ago it's sold out. So that's really exciting. And that's, we're one of three, so come early, it's alongside Bumpin' Uglies and Cashed Out, those guys who we've toured with both of those bands in the past, and we're really excited to link with those guys again. They're all our friends. Yeah, stoked to see what the new Sugar Shack venue looks like and what it's all about down there. It's our first time. We're thrilled. As well as, so this coming Saturday here in Jacksonville, we're playing at the legendary Vouzouar for
Ooh.
Reggae Night. And that's actually an event that Curran and I have been promoting and crafting together for a couple years now. So this Saturday, August 2nd, the Elemento Beat is headlining the Vouzouar in Jacksonville, Florida. We got the local guys, the Hooligans, are going to be kicking off the night for us on August 2nd at Boo. And then the Sundrop Sound System will be there in full effect, and we'll be playing our vinyl collection, strictly reggae music on vinyl through the Sundrop sound system, celebrating reggae music.
That is so exciting. Everybody also wants to know, are you guys going to get back out on the road and tour?
That is the plan. Yeah. We got a couple things in the works. Yeah. So stay tuned for dates. We really want to see everybody. We've been hearing from so many people from so many places saying they want to see us. Colorado's a big one. We keep hearing from people in Colorado. Yeah, we can't wait. We got some plans, so stay tuned.
That makes me so excited. And speaking of people randomly hitting you up, somebody very special just randomly sent me a message. The Ellameno Beat is one of my favorite American reggae bands contributing to the genre today. If you have not discovered their music, I recommend giving a good listen to their latest release, Cycles. Great songwriting that effortlessly captures the essence of roots reggae, exploring heavy dub and lovers rock. They keep the rhythms authentic while still carving out their own fresh and unique sound. Dylan Savage, Giant Panda, Gorilla, Dub Squad.
Whoa, Dylan. Wow, man. Big ups. Thank you so much. That means so much.
I mean, I the people are just I tell the scene I select people who are getting ready to chat with, and they've been blowing me up today, man.
Wow.
And Link, Matt Link also said
Yeah,
to
Matt.
say hey to you.
Yeah,
Uh,
Matt.
yeah, man, it's a family out here. Family's always better together. And
Yes.
man, it is so cool and it makes me so happy to hear you guys say that you're going to get out there and start doing the touring again. That is
Yes.
really, really exciting. We got a
Yeah.
couple more questions for you, and then we're going to get you
Yeah.
out of here. It has been a blast chatting with you.
Yeah.
I knew it would. The music is so magical. It just really is, and the people behind it have to be too. And it looks like you absolutely are. So let's talk about surfing. It's a 50-50. What I've heard is surf culture and your band is 50-50 artist
Yeah.
and surf. It makes us tick as musicians and friends. Uh, Tell us why surfing is so vitally important to your life.
Wow. I mean, it's something that is indescribable, the feeling that you get when you really do lock into a really good wave. It's such a powerful experience, and it creates so much inspiration inside of me and all of us. I'm constantly on the pursuit for that feeling. Like it's an addiction. I personally myself, I really enjoy longboarding in my adult years. The feeling of nose riding, it literally feels like you're levitating when you lock your board into the power pocket of the wave and run to the nose and hang 10. You get the tail of the board is getting pushed down by the breaking part of the wave, and it lifts the nose up, and you're standing with nothing in front of you over the ocean, being held up and like moving at a decent speed. And there's a feeling that you get in that moment. Time stops, and it's just like a euphoria that happens, and this thing that like it just takes over you. And so through my life of constantly paying attention to swell charts and weather and trying to time good surf sessions so we can have those feelings and have those experiences, the inspiration for music just comes in parallel. Like I'm constantly when I'm whether when I'm sitting on the beach, if I'm checking the waves, or if I'm out in the lineup waiting for that opportunity to present itself, I'm like my brain is just firing, and there's usually melodies and patterns going on in my head. And I think I was kind of citing that at the beginning of this conversation. Like most of our recordings are on the heels of surf sessions. We're like through that pursuit of that crazy feeling, the music kind of happens. Um, and yeah, but surfing, if you haven't tried it, try it. If you get a chance, because it's a really special experience. Something about like moving along with a wave that's traveled for thousands and thousands of miles, that through the ocean, and it's all of that energy that's been traveling for that far, it's dispersing in that moment when it's breaking, when you catch the wave, it's very, very powerful. And even on the most beginner small level of just catching the whitewash on the inside on a soft top, all the way up to dropping in on a, a large overhead wave and getting barreled inside the tube of the wave. Like at any level from beginner to advanced, the feeling is equally as powerful. So I highly advise everyone to give it a shot and consider it. It's so special and it's healthy. You feel better after you do it, like it's such a wonderful cardiovascular workout. And I mean, there's just not one, there's not a negative to surfing. It can be dangerous sometimes. I've been injured surfing, but it's still super worth it. I have
Yeah.
a back injury that I got in 2012 while I was surfing, but I'm not complaining. I'm still, like it's the best thing ever. Outside of, the feeling of locking in with your bandmates and being in the pocket playing music, those two things are very similar, the feelings, but they're both like the most powerful thing I've ever felt in my life. And I'm very much like constantly pursuing new experiences in those spaces. But I constantly am relating surfing to music. I really think that the two are it's like the same part of my brain because when we're surfing, you're making it up as you go, but you're also observing. You're like you're seeing things happen down the line on the wave. You're like, okay, I
Mhm.
have an opportunity here. I'm gonna go run to the nose and nose ride because I can see the waves kind of standing up a bit, or oh, it's time to cut back and do a turn.
Mhm.
Um, and it's really similar to musical phrasing as he's like, oh, I'm gonna go up high and I'm gonna do this thing, or like, and now I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna come down, and
Mhm.
it's so rhythmic. And surfing, if you're out of rhythm, you're maybe going to, stuff a rail and miss and blow the wave and fall or whatever. And in
Mhm.
music, it's kind of the same thing. If you're out of rhythm, it kind of like the ensemble can kind of break down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you don't sound as good as you did before,
Mhm.
and so, but it's kind of for me anyway, I feel like it's the same balancing act of like finding that sweet spot and just staying in the pocket. It, yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, man. I had to touch on that because I mean, you guys would in the past would book your tours
Hmm?
very precisely around surf spots.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very important to the Elemento beat.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, being on the road can be a grind, So like if we're on the road in places where we get to go out and surf, it helps a lot, keep the morale up and feel good when you're out on the road. If you're feeling good while you're touring, you're probably going to play good, And we've been lucky enough to be sponsored by Stoke Surfboards for many years now. We all ride for Mike Carroll. Shouts out Mike Carroll, wonderful surfboard shaper, out of Stuart, Florida as well, where we're from. So Mike would come along the tours with us, and he had accounts with surf shops all over the East Coast. So we would kind of plan our destinations in those around those places where he could go do business and sell boards to shops, and then we would time it just right. A lot of times, the times a year we would go out, we would just lucked out with be great swell. So I don't think we've ever gone on a tour and we haven't scored like good waves. But yeah, our tours were so much fun. Like we never were like, oh, we got to go out. It was always like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't wait to go. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, what happens if you hit a big tour and you got to hit like Oklahoma and like Omaha? There's,
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
ocean.
I mean, I think obviously there are times when you don't get to surf. It's not every day that you go,
Hmm.
so it makes the days you do get more special. And I think the excitement we have for this music right now and where we are is enough to drive us to wherever we need to go to keep it going. Like we're really excited. But there's wave pools now, so there's also wave pools that
We're
you can
really
go surfing
excited.
in.
We're really excited to have you back, man.
Yeah.
It's such a magical a moment having this art project back on the radar. Everybody out there, if this is your first time checking out the Elemento beat, start at track one on the EP and go all the way through it, man. and check out their synergistic musical journey that is just starting again. We're so stoked, man. Got a couple more, and then we're gonna get you out of here, Reggie. At the Elemento beat, real quick, plug it up for us.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to find us on Instagram, it's just at the Elemeno Beat, TheEllamenoBeat. Uh, and yeah, spell it that way on any of the other handles, and I think that's what it is. We haven't had to have a extra addition on our name on any of our socials because there's no other the Elemeno Beat out there.
Yep.
If you spell
Yep.
it wherever you need, it's there.
Yep. So Blue had a great question, and I want to almost close it out. We're gonna pre-close it out. We're entering the
Okay.
musical dessert. I'm sorry, the interview dessert portion of our chat now. What is something that you haven't explored musically that you'd like to take a dip
Ooh.
in the band's future?
Ooh, that's a really fun question.
Right?
Whoa. Okay, well, I got to think about this for a second. The first thing that comes to mind, I want to accomplish dub, like true dub music live. Like, I think we've used effects and things in our set to, have elements, but I think in a live sense, that's something that I will want to explore, like really pursuing recreating like real dub sounds in a live sense. I think a lot of people use that term a lot, but what dub music really is, it sounds a kind of way that we don't really hear in a live format very often, or I don't know, really, I haven't. So I think that's one thing that I really would love to get into, and like maybe even in a format of like actually using like live selection and things like on stage to create that. I've thought a lot about it, but we've never really gone into it, but we'll get there. We're still learning how to play these songs live, I guess. But
Yeah.
eventually, yeah,
What
dubbing.
What a cool statement. I want to learn how to accomplish dub live on stage. That is such a cool idea. We had the absolute honor of chatting with Hopeton, aka Scientist, a couple of years
Ah,
ago. And
legend.
you talk about just a magical chat. And dub
Yeah.
is one of my favorite things
Yeah.
in our family of music because it's like reggae's secret weapon, you know.
Mhm.
Nobody else has it. We got it, you know,
Yeah,
and you
it's
can drop
yeah.
it at any moment. You can be like, I'll scream at my homies, dub it out,
Right, right,
you know,
right.
when they're going live. And
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, you know, like,
Yes,
let's
yes.
drop it into the pocket right now and just dub it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ah, I love dub. What a cool answer to that question. Blue's gonna love that. Uh, so hey, man, we have reached to the end of this 8
Yeah.
8 years. Honestly, it's probably been about 8 years, just about as long as this record, or it's been since your last record. You know,
Mhm.
your music is it truly puts us in a rootsy trance. And one thing that's I want to say this for the end. One thing that's really special is yeah, you don't just listen to music, right? You feel it, and that's when really good music hits you when you can feel it. But you guys, I think, actually go a step further, and in addition to feeling it, it transports you physically and mentally and spiritually to a different plane, a state of mind. It can and actually change your mindset, and I think that's something that is absolute. It's not even rare. It's something I've never heard before
Wow,
or
man.
felt before. You know, it just you just go somewhere, and it's because of your music that happens. So I wanted to say that to you guys. It's very
Thank you for
special.
saying that. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for saying it.
Absolutely. This is the last question. Here we go. Every time I chat with somebody, they get the same one, and I'm really excited to hear what Reggie has to say. Again, Cycles is out now. Everybody go grab it. It is absolute gold at the Ellameno Beat. Man, feels so good to be just talking about this band again. Everybody out there, go check out Reggie and the gang. Go start surfing. Go learn how to surf too, man. Such a special thing. What does reggae mean to you, Reggie?
Um, I think unity and feeling. Simple as that. It represents togetherness. Reggae is the sound of togetherness, and it happens because of the feeling. The players are putting so much feeling into the music. Togetherness and feeling, definitely.
I love that. It's always a different answer, man. It has been an absolute pleasure. Is it real quick? Tell everybody what they should do. What should they do in regards to Elemental Beat?
Go check out the new record, stream it, buy it, however you like. It sounds great on vinyl. So if you got a record player, grab a vinyl. Um, inside of we put a lot of love into the actual cover, and that we did a fold out with like there's lots of bonuses. If you get the record, you learn more about the band. There's some beautiful imagery involved in the vinyl sleeve. So check the vinyl out if you got a record player. Um, but yeah, uh, follow us on the internet and stuff, and stay tuned because we want to see all you guys. If you like our music, we want to interface with you guys when we do hit the road. Um, and yeah, we'll hope to see you guys out there as soon as possible.
Reggie, it's been an absolute blast. It's just so great to see your face and hear how happy you guys are and see how much you're smiling. Keep doing what you're doing and keep on grooving with the Elemento Beat.
Yes.
Full beans, all right?
I'm full beans for sure.
All right. Peace and love, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, respect.
Is it time to find ourselves and be comfortable? Does it feel like the world is over again? I do believe we could be wonderful, but this time